Good afternoon and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Providence Holy Cross Medical Center and Comfort Keepers in Home Care. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Dr. Thomas Pilecki.
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And speaking of quality of life, bug-wise,
Yeah.
rat-wise, and everything bug-rise, is Cardon Ellis from Unipest.
So we got Cardon here for
I am so excited to be
the
here.
whole show. It's all Cardon all day.
We're going to talk
all
about
the time.
bugs for the whole hour.
Oh, no. There's so much more, but everything is tangential.
Wait. Speaking of bugs,
Okay, I hit it.
what do you think about the Golden Globes?
What do I think about the
About what?
Golden Globes?
Yeah.
Oh, everybody acted like Joe Coy tanked, and so I tuned in with my friend to watch what was said and what happened. And like 2 minutes in, everything was funny, and I don't see why everybody was saying he tanked. But I never got to finish the video, so I confess that I'm a semi-educated opinion only.
Okay.
But the first 2 minutes were hilarious.
Yeah, that was the best 2 minutes of the show. Seriously, he was horrible. But that forget about that.
So you're in the Joe Coy tanked camp?
Yeah.
Show are you guys- what are you talking
he was
about?
the host of the Golden Globes Award. The Golden
Golden
You know what the
Globes?
Golden Globes are, right?
It's like the Golden Girls.
It used to
but for
be the
Oscars.
Hollywood Foreign Press, but that was dismantled probably because it had foreign in the name or whatever. So it's an award show. It is the first award show of this season, and it is a good pulse of who's going to win every other award this year.
Oh, I didn't
So,
see it. I don't watch
yeah.
It
those
leads up
shows.
to the Oscars specifically. Like, that's
Yeah.
the
Well, you know how
big,
you got the
that's the big
BAFTA
dog.
I
awards
like
over there?
the
It's-
what?
You know how you got the BAFTA awards in England, right? It's the BAFTA, right?
I think
I
so,
don't
yes.
know.
I think you're correct.
I
Yeah.
don't watch. The
Yeah,
only
I
one
think
I
it's the-
watch
it's
is
the British whatever
the
and film and
Oscars.
television
The
awards.
Oscars.
The
That's the only
Oscars,
one
yeah,
I
the
ever
Academy
watch.
Awards.
It's
sure.
like junior varsity Oscars that
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
before the Oscars.
Yeah. And I think Joe was good. I think Joe, well, he definitely didn't have enough notice, right, to
Yeah,
prep.
he
They
only
gave him
had
like a
like 2
10-day
weeks, yeah.
notice. But
2
I think
weeks. You're
Joe,
hosting. You're
Joe is a
hosting.
good stand-up. I don't know if, and host and stand-up is a totally different beast. So I don't know if that was for
Look,
him.
if he
but
could walk out of the awards ceremony without getting slapped by one of the actors at this point,
Yeah,
I think
right.
it's stand-up
It's good.
comedian success.
Yeah.
Well, it came
Oh, I
close.
saw that last year. Yeah.
It came close. Taylor Swift was giving him the stink eye.
Really?
Oh yeah, like he tried
What kind of eye?
stink eye.
The stink eye.
What is
So-
this? A steak eye?
No, the stink eye. So look
Oh,
at me.
Like
Stink.
this, Barbara. Kind of like look out of the side of your eye.
Stink.
Not amused.
So he
Like
he,
if somebody says French
In other
fries
words,
instead of
she
chips.
doesn't like it.
he tried to make fun of her, and she's just drinking her water. Like, really?
No,
Who
she
are-
wasn't
who are
just
you?
drinking her water. She was drinking her water and composing the lyrics of the hit
Right,
down,
yeah.
the takedown song that's going to
next
come
song.
out 6 weeks from now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Don't
anyway,
they have
okay,
any
okay.
sense of humor on that show? I mean,
Not
apparently
much.
not.
No. The Hollywoods kind of, take themselves very seriously, I think. And
Well, it's always so boring now too.
Yeah,
It's-
it was
there's-
horrible. It was the worst award show I've ever seen, and I'm not a fan of award shows to
The
begin
only,
with.
like I said, the only one I watch is the Oscars.
But here's the takeaway. One, I think Oppenheimer and Cillian Murphy earn everything that they win. It's just amazing. I haven't seen the what did oh my God, the La La Land girl.
Poor Things. Emma Stone.
Otter Things.
Poor thing.
Poorer
It's either
Things.
the Poor Things
Yeah.
or Poor. I haven't seen it
Poorer
either. but
Things. It's in such limited release,
Yeah.
and it's it's got to be amazing because she's amazing. But I never heard or anything of it. I'm like, what's all this? And she wins. So
Who is
that's kind of
she?
cool. Emma Stone. You might know her from La La Land if you've seen that.
She's the
Because-
girl that danced with the modern day Clint Eastwood, Ryan Gosling, in a song called La La Land. You know,
she's just a current actress. She's,
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
the
great.
big-
She's
the big
phenomenal.
big deal right now. She's a very
The
good
Help.
actress.
She was in The Help, right?
She was, yes.
Yeah. So The Help is probably
Spider-Man.
her big movie.
Was she not in
I
Spider-Man?
don't know. I don't.
Didn't she play
which
Mary Jane?
Spider-Man? Like, there's been like a gazillion.
I feel like she played
Spider-Man.
Mary Jane seen on one of the Spider-Man movies.
Possibly. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. But okay, so
Hit me.
yeah. So Emma Stone absolutely deserved. Killian Murphy.
She
Absolutely.
deserves Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
Are you announcing something
Yeah,
here that is
yeah.
first time heard on KHTS?
But here's what bugged. Here's what bugged so much. Did you see The Maestro?
No.
Oh my God. It's amazing. So it's the story of Leonard Bernstein. You know who that is, right?
I'm gonna fake that I do.
West Side
Just to sound
Story.
relevant.
You know what West Side Story is,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Classic,
Yeah.
late 60s, possibly early 70s. Like
The Sharks and the
Sharks
Jets.
Right. All right. So he composed it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Rock on. Yeah,
One of the
makes sense.
greatest American conductors ever, all time, anywhere. So Bradley Cooper, I'm a fan, first of all. But second of all, when you watch Maestro, you don't see Bradley Cooper. First of all, they should have won awards just for makeup. So they age him from where he is now, and they probably make him look a little bit younger in the beginning. But in the opening scene is the end of the movie, right? So the opening scene, he's supposed to be Leonard Bernstein, like 80, 88, 89, right before he dies, right?
Okay.
It's unreal. It's the best makeup I've ever seen. I'm like, is that CG? How they do that? What is that? Like that alone should have won him the award. But there's a scene towards the end where he is actually conducting. Bradley Cooper, as far as I know, is not a conductor. It's not a musician. I mean, he's done some musical movies, but
I think he plays guitar.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is a whole nother level.
Wow,
He is
okay.
insanely good.
Really?
Like insanely good. And it is a tight shot on him for 2 minutes nonstop. And he is conducting an orchestra like the best there
Was
ever
it
was.
as good as the 2-minute tight shot on Jack Black in School of Rock? Because when
I
you
don't
talk about
know.
tight shots,
I
there's
don't
either
know.
Children of Men, that
Yeah.
7-minute battle scene where there was like
yeah.
that little flick of blood on the lens for like 6.5 minutes of it. And then there was Jack Black's monologue about the legend of the Rent.
Barb's
Okay.
like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah.
This is
Have
the
you seen
se-
School of Rock?
This is the senior hour.
Oh, well, yeah, but rock and roll. You
T-
girls invented
we're just
this.
talking about award show. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
About
movies.
A what
People-
show?
Awards show, the awards
Awards
show, and people
show.
watch that. Seniors watch that.
I didn't watch it.
I know.
Like, have you
do.
ever been to the Santa Clarita Awards where they choose, like, there's Miss Universe, there's Miss
No.
Teen, SCV?
No.
I nominated you for Miss Senior Santa Clarita last year. You should have gotten a call, but if not, we can just put your name back in the hopper.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
you are the best to make laugh. You're just fun. I want to live in next to you and just say different jokes, you know, and just like just try my different acts before we have to go on stage. It would be like really hilarious.
All right, if you say so.
You know, make sure my kids look good before they go to prom and all that. Because here's the other thing, man. You're a savage. I give you credit. You don't.
I'm a
mince-
savage.
Yeah, like you're a savage. That's like that's millennial and Gen Z speak for like, you know, you speak your mind.
You're assertive and you're
You're assertive. You know, you don't hold back. You don't hide. You know, it's like you're a savage, right? And so,
It's a compliment.
Oh,
yeah, it's a good thing.
You're
It's a good
smart.
thing.
You're strong-willed.
It doesn't sound
Yes.
like it.
No, it
It's
is.
like if my daughter
savage
chose.
is not good. It's not a good word. Have you looked at the?
Well, yeah, but neither was wicked
definition?
in the 70s, but we all said like, yeah, that's wicked when
Or
it was
bad.
really cool.
Bad is
Or it's like,
good. Yeah,
in the
yeah.
90s, it's like, yeah, that's bad. Like bad to the bone was good, right?
My son will say, "Oh man, that's sick," and I think, "Okay, well, is that good or bad?"
Yeah. No, if it's sick,
Then you
it's
don't
good.
It's
know.
good. Yeah.
Is
Everything-
bad?
It's all the opposite.
If
yeah.
it's ill, then you know it's super sick, which means that it's really, really good. So anyway, back to your award ceremony and being a really cool neighbor. The reason why you be cool as a neighbor, because you're so savage, is it like, you know, if my daughter came out in an ugly prom dress, you know, you wouldn't just say like, oh, you look good, honey. You'd be like, oh, dear, it's wretched. And you use some kind of really cool, like, British term that
British
sounds
burn.
just a
British
British burn, you know? And then, but then you'd help her out and you'd go get her something from Burberry, You know what I'm saying? And you'd make up for it with a solid English brand. Just like all of the English directors have to like fix American stories like Batman, and Oppenheimer. You'd help her out with her prom dress, and you wouldn't mince words. That's why you'd be a fun neighbor.
Oh, okay.
Do you know
If
what
you
they do
say
in
so.
Denmark with old people and young people?
No, wait. Old?
Well,
I'm just older.
Oh, older, yes. They have this really cool program that would be super fun, and I'm going to sign up with you for it if they bring it into America.
Oh.
You get free rent if you live with a senior. They have these giant apartment complexes that's part of Social Security. And
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
if you're willing to live with a senior and just kind of like, help out, talk with them for, like make sure at the end of the day that like they got their stuff or whatever, you literally get free rent and they're your roommate. I would sign up to be your roommate in a heartbeat, and we would watch TV together. We'd make fun of the award ceremonies.
There you go.
We'd compare war stories,
So does that mean I would have to sell my house and buy an apartment?
No, it's voluntary. It's like, it's if you want to live there, it's cheap rent. It's cool.
Yeah, but my house is paid for. Why would I want to
Well,
move
you could always
into-
invite me to come live in your house for free. That's fine too.
Oh,
I mean, I'll squat anytime.
so does that mean I would have to kick my son out of the room he uses when he comes down to
Well,
sleep?
I prefer to think that it was a fair competition and an open, like I'll arm wrestle him if that's what it requires, or I mean,
Well, you would beat him, I'm sure.
you give me too much credit, but no, see, that was a savage comment. So you're supposed to say, "Oh, my son could beat anybody, and I'm a proud mom," but no, you
That
didn't.
was a
You're just like, "Yeah,
savage-
you'd beat him." Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
A savage comment. Okay.
Yeah. If you ever want to know any modern terminologies, I will gladly translate. And this could be a really fun collaboration between. By the way, you got new slang coming because Gen
I've
Z.
got what coming?
New slang coming because Gen Z used to be the youngest, but now there's a new generation that's up and coming.
What is that?
Gen Alpha.
Alpha.
Gen Alpha has arrived, and I got to tell you, my son's Gen Alpha, and they have their own slang.
Lay it on me.
They got. Oh, lay it on you.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some crossover between Gen Z and Gen Alpha, but like for example, I do a theater group with a bunch of kids, and this is already passe, but it took me a couple of times hearing it before I realized it. Bussin'. They always say like, "Yeah, that's bussin'," right? You're like,
Oh,
"What
yeah.
were we bussin' to?" It makes no sense.
Right.
And so
What were we busted to?
bussin', they'd say it's bussin', right? And whenever
Bussin'.
they agree with something, they say bet, right? And then the Gen Alpha guys are taking this to a whole new level because it's like they scream words, like sounds. Like Gen Alpha's slang is like literally sounds that come off the internet, and they like live TikTok memes in real
Fax
life.
machine.
Yeah, yeah, it is hilarious.
Hey, can we turn the clock back and start again?
To about 1950 would be good.
I mean, let's turn it back to 12:08, shall we? And start again.
Should we just scrap
'Cause
this entirely?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm complete. I'm underneath here instead of sitting here.
Yeah, so don't worry, you don't have to move out of your house. You don't have to kick out your son. And this show be bussin'.
Well, you're learning new things about the next generation, right? Gen
Yeah.
Alpha.
Who cares?
That's why you're savage. This is awesome.
That's why I'm
It all comes
savage.
full circle.
Yeah.
And savage to me is bad.
No, but it's good because
bad
it
is
means you
good.
speak your mind, that you're a woman with a spine, that you're not afraid to say it how it is.
You're darn
know?
right I'm not. Not
Yeah.
when it comes to things like you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
My daughter's out there. I wonder if she knows all about
What's
this.
going on in it?
She's ready to go.
Yeah, so
She's
So-
gonna
there's
run.
some crazy
So
wild
bugs.
stuff. Yeah, there's some crazy wild stuff happening in the world. So you want to talk about bugs as previously prescribed before we went down the rabbit hole, no pun intended. Rabbits are not a registered pest species. That's wildlife.
My son found a roach, a black roach that big
Mm-hmm.
on my property.
Oh, snap. Okay.
There's some
So-
slang for you, Barbara.
Oh yeah, oh snap. That's old school. That's like late 90s, early 2000s. Oh snap. That means like whoa, like
Yeah.
like holy cow. Like you just said holy cow.
Well, I would have said something worse than that, like I did the other day.
So
or the other week.
what's the difference
And I
between
got,
a roach and a water bug? Because I always kind of confuse the two. Are they cousins? Are they
Yeah. Well,
Brother
if you
and
mean
sister?
cousins by
they
through
seem
genetics, yes.
Yes, they seem and look very similar.
Okay, so it was a big dark cockroach.
It was a black one.
Was it shiny? Here's the question. Was it
Yes.
kind of shiny a little
Yes.
bit? Okay, so check this out. There's not too many of those left in Santa Clarita. Now, of course, what does not too many left mean comparatively? Thousands, right? But generally, to answer your question and your question simultaneously, that's a water bug. But water bug is a misnomer because a true water bug is actually a bug that can tread water without breaking its surface tension. And we do have those in Bouquet Creek. They're sometimes...
I have them in my pool.
Yeah, you have them in your pool. Sometimes...
You do?
Yeah, I don't know how they get there. Can they fly?
Some can, yeah. There's
Okay.
there's multiple different species and so on and so forth. But usually the type of cockroach that is called a water bug is actually the oriental cockroach, okay, which isn't Near Eastern or quote Oriental. It's just that in the 1920s French restaurant market, when they were starting to identify these different bugs, and the entomologists were actually giving them names. They hated the Germans because of what happened in World War I, so they called the restaurant roaches in the French restaurants German cockroaches. And then the type of roach that they had traditionally found in the Chinese restaurants, they called the Oriental cockroach. And then now that all of these cockroaches have spread ostensibly throughout the world through commerce and different things like that, a common pest species that exists in wet areas like flower beds here in Santa Clarita and gardens and things like that was, up until the early 2000s, the Oriental cockroach. But it's now been displaced by the Turkestan cockroach, which was accidentally brought over in shipping containers and crates from the first war in Desert Storm. We accidentally imported an invasive pest species from the Middle East when we came back from Desert Storm. Like, you know those MREs that sometimes you buy when you go camping?
What's an MRE?
Meal ready to eat.
A what?
A meal ready to eat.
Wait, you never had one?
Meal ready to eat.
You were telling all those really cool World War II stories last time
An
about like
MRE?
face masks and everything. Your family never had, like during the Cold War or anything?
You
stacked up
probably call them
MREs?
K rations.
Oh, yes. I
Okay,
ration.
that's an MRE today.
Okay.
Were they any good?
Yes.
What'd you have? Like, I've never eaten an MRE.
Yeah.
Next time I'm on this show, I'm
I
going to
don't
bring us
know.
MREs.
I didn't know it was an MRE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just food on the go for the army. Like they can't call McDonald's when they're in a firefight. So they have little packets of food that literally are ready to eat. It's a meal ready to eat.
You
You
just
rip
add
open
water.
the package and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Well, the only time I ever had that was when I had to go into a shelter.
Whoa. Well, that's cool. There were no roaches in the shelter, right?
I don't know. I wasn't interested in roaches. More
okay.
interested in the bombs that were falling all around.
Well, because England's
And
pretty far north.
exploding.
I'm curious what its pest population is. Because, like, for example, we're further south and we're kind of subtropical here and everything like that. And
But
if you
they-
get a frost line, you'll have far less insect activity.
They have the tube system. They have the sewers. So that's always going to be
I'm sure there's
a
some kinda-
habitable environment for some kind of critter.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
cool.
we'll get back to everything that bugs Barb in just a moment on the Senior Hour. KHTS FM 98.1 AM 1220 hometownstation.com.
Welcome back to the Santa Clarita Savage Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Dr. Thomas Pollucky.
and our guest,
Cardon Ellis.
who?
I'm happy to be here. Cardon Ellis, owner of Unipest.
Okay, very good.
I am so proud of you.
Oh, really?
How did that feel?
I'm savage?
Yes, you're savage. This is the Santa Clarita Savage Senior Hour. It is a symphony of super salacious, I'm running out of
Severity.
Is severity? Yeah, that was good.
It was?
Yeah, your real estate in the radio waves just skyrocketed. And I think some of the younger kids that were cruising in the cars with their grandparents just decided to turn it up. You know what I'm saying? This is the Savage Santa Clarita Senior Hour where we stop the cap. That's another good one. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Yeah. Yeah, like stop the cap means like...
Stop all the bugs.
No. Like stop the cap means like you're not lying or you're not saying something that's partially true. You're just giving it raw and unfiltered. Or if you don't believe what somebody's saying, you say like, come on, man, stop the cap, stop the cap. But now there is no cap here because this is the Savage Santa Clarita Senior Hour.
Where we stop
I
the
guess
cap.
maybe I better go back to school.
Yeah, no, you crushed it. It was awesome. And crushed it, by the way, that's another one that's really good.
I crushed it.
Yeah, you crushed it.
What did I crush?
The intro.
The intro.
Yeah. So you
The Santa Clarita Savage Senior Hour, or the Santa Clarita Senior Savage Hour.
well, if it's the Senior Savage Hour, that doesn't work as much because savage is then used as a noun. It needs to be used as an adjective, so it has to come before the word. So it's
Santa Clarita Savage,
Savage
Senior Hour.
Yeah, because then the Senior Hour itself is savage, which means it's super cool. You tell it raw to your fellow seniors. You don't give them any fluff. You tell them who the best doctor is, Thomas Pilecki, who the best dentist is, you know, what the best, I don't know.
Bug control places.
Bug control
Okay,
is, the best bidet, whatever, you know. We stop the cap in Santa Clarita's Savage Senior Hour. It is awesome.
Oh,
So, Barbara, did you
I'm a
have a
I'm
lot
a
of slang?
I'm a savage co-host then.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And what was the slang when you were growing up? Was there a lot of use of slang?
Slang.
Yeah, like I don't know any
Like informal words that are
Think Austin Powers.
like groovy, like in the 60s. In the 60s, you know how Simon and Garfunkel in the 60s they said, "I'm feeling groovy," right? Well, groovy didn't actually mean like you were in the dumps in some hole or groove cut in the ground. Feeling groovy meant like you were vibing, you were elevated, you know, like you were feeling cool, right?
Okay, so this is not a great example. I just looked up British slang, and I'm not going to repeat certain things because I'm not sure what the actual
Severity?
correct. So we'll just go with number one, nice and safe bloke. A bloke is slang for.
A man.
There you go.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. So that's what we're trying to see.
Which, by the way, we need to bring that back. Like interviews with British actors are just cooler because like who's that filthy bloke? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like it's so derogatory without being derogatory.
What about the bloody filthy bloke?
Well, hey,
go.
now you just elevated that to a whole new
No,
level.
oh, I know.
Yeah, we don't.
That's a nasty word.
Yeah, that's
The
savage.
first one.
That's savage.
First one.
Well, not here, but over there, yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, boom
you
shakalaka.
don't say that. You
So,
don't.
yeah. So, what was your favorite slang term that you kind of wish they would bring back from when you were a kid?
Well, I don't know because when I've been out of that bloody bastard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a perfect example. See that
Yes.
second one carries a little bit more weight over here in America, but over there,
I know.
they drop them just like they drop them
know.
like bombs. Yeah, it's
I
pretty
know.
fun. So anyway,
It's a nasty word over here.
yeah, but
But
over there,
the
not
second
so
one
much.
I used.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
It's a nasty word. And
Yeah.
I hope I don't get fired.
No. You're good. You're
We're
good.
talking language, aren't
Yeah,
we?
yeah. All right.
On the
and,
senior hour.
Shifting
But
gears.
seniors don't use language like that.
The
At least the seniors I know,
really?
they're not foul-mouthed.
No, it's not foul. Stop the cap, savage. No, this is all run of the mill. This is middle lane fun stuff. It's like cool in the 70s, you know?
Let's go back to the 70s then, shall we?
Yeah, I'm down.
And we're in what, 2024? Good glory.
Just be honest. Have you accidentally wrote 2023 on an application you filled out yet?
No, I have not.
You've fully adjusted to 2024?
I don't write.
Oh, you don't, right? You just type everything? Yeah, I've screwed up on multiple forms.
I just tap the screen and I'm good to go.
I had to fill out a form at the senior center on Tuesday. Yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Today's Wednesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. Yes, yes. Yeah, I had to fill out another form
Really?
to be involved in the Tuesday meetings there.
Did you ever go to the old senior center that was on Market Street?
My husband was one of the founders.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you okay?
And
so,
I was involved with him also.
Yeah, that's usually what happens with husbands and wives.
Yes.
They generally have
And
correspondence.
the late
that's
Joanne
fairly similar.
Darcy, and Stan Sirad.
Can I tell you something I loved about that building?
What's that?
Okay, so I used to live literally like within a football field of the senior center, right? Not only was it a really, really fun parking lot that you could longboard in and security wouldn't close it until like 1 a.m. They were
That's
supposed to do it
right.
at like 10, but the guy
That's
was always
right.
late. So you could kind of like skateboard in
Especially
the
if
parking
you
lot.
have those doors open from the top office
Oh yeah,
and
exactly.
come down the hill.
I would never admit to sneaking to the senior center at night, but you know, we're gonna stop the cap. And I'm just kidding. No, I never
That's
did.
over and done with.
That's
now.
over and done with. No, but there was a beautiful family of owls that lived in your oak tree. Yeah,
Yes.
no, the
the
senior
big white
center,
ones.
The oak tree there. Oh.
like you know those kindergarten pictures of like an owl living in the nook
Yeah,
of where a limb used to be.
Yeah.
They literally have a massive oak tree when you turn right into the first parking lot of the senior center, coming southbound where they put the speed bump. If you look up, there was multiple families of owls over years had set up
The big
shop.
brown ones. What you don't remember?
They
I
were
can't
all
remember if they
sizes.
were the spotted. There's like 3 species
Yeah.
of owls that live here.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a family of owls lived there, and they come out at night and they would nuke all of the little field mice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they'd land in my tree and then burp up the goodies. You know what I'm saying? So we had a couple of science experiments in my driveway every once in a while.
Yeah.
But the family of owls lived there, and I check in on them at night when I was legally skateboarding in the parking lot. Because
There you go.
skateboarding is not a crime. That's another slang term. Skateboarding is not a crime.
Skateboarding is not a crime.
Yeah.
That's another slang term.
Yeah. It was like that was like more 90s. That's like millennial slang.
That doesn't sound like slang to me.
It was a phrase. Like individual phrases can be slang. Individual words can be slang.
Boy,
You know, yeah.
talk about going back to school.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, is that what
slang.
it is?
That's slang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slang is slang.
Yeah. It's totally
Oh,
fun.
I'm going back to old school.
There you
Okay,
go.
old school. All right. Is that because I'm older?
Yeah, you need the Adidas and you need the big heavy gold chain.
I need the
you'll be
waters.
awesome. Baseball cap. Cardon's sporting a baseball cap.
Yeah, exactly. So I got a question for you because this is the senior hour.
All right.
Legitimate question. What's the
Really?
funnest part about being a senior? Like, what's the coolest part about being a senior where you're just like, I could not do this when I was younger. If I would have known it was going to be this cool, I would have looked forward to this. You know, like, for example, like, so just here's one that I'm suspecting I'm going to look forward to. There's old dudes that show up at my pool in the most horrendous Speedos, and they just don't care. Like, these guys do not care. It is beyond a social norm violation. These guys show up, they take off their towel, and they walk with their bad posture and their mocha skin, and this dude's in his 80s, and he just like, people are looking at him like, what the heck is he wearing? And you can just see on his face, he's like, man, I've been through the trenches. There ain't nothing you can do to make me take this off. I am loud and proud in this Speedo. I mean, it like has like a koala patch with like leopard skin print on it, right? And he's just rocking that heinous Speedo. That man has so much pride and freedom and literally he can just look at somebody and be like, dog, I survived the 60s. Like, you could do nothing to shame me. I survived the 60s. So I look forward to my debut at the Santa Clarita Public Pool.
In your
The first
Speedo?
day that I am old enough to not give a crap about that Speedo. I 100% look forward to that.
What age will
Cardon's
that be?
just going to be wearing a sock.
I don't know. That guy, that guy.
I'm not going to that pool.
No, so what is the funnest part for you? What is the funnest part for you of being a senior that you didn't know when you were younger was going to be so cool?
Just being here, alive, walking around, talking with people, being with my children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and doing things like this, coming on the radio show. I mean, my next birthday will be 88.
Really?
Yeah, 88.
Wow.
2 8s. Isn't that incredible?
That's pretty awesome.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah. So do you ever like, there has to be a form of braggadocio amongst seniors. Maybe we start some kind of, in fact, Unipest will sponsor these t-shirts. My pest control company, Unipest, will sponsor your t-shirt, and we'll even get a couple more of these. There needs to be like, I feel like once you get past retirement age, it should be like bragging rights. Like, yeah, I'm 63.
88. You ain't.
Yeah, like, I'm 88. Yeah, what are you? Oh, I'm only 75. Yeah. Yeah, I got 8 years on you. You know?
No, getting
Little
old,
punk.
getting older is fun.
Yeah, getting old to see, it
Yeah.
can be fun. It's awesome.
Oh,
But what's so fun about it? I mean, I know that you like being with your grandkids, and that's lovely. But I'm sure that there's plenty of parents that like being with their kids. Now, grandkids are unique because it's the only time in your life, from what I understand. I don't have grandkids, but where the copy of the copy is better than the original. That's the old joke. You know what I'm saying? So is there
the
anything
copy of the copy is what?
is better than the original?
You like your grandkids better.
Do you like your grandkids more than your real, like your do you like your grandkids more than your own children?
I've never thought about that. Why would I even think about that?
Well, maybe you're just a nicer grandma than some of them are. You know what I'm saying? But
I think the notion is that you have done all the hard work raising your kids and making sure they're staying in line in school and good behavior and that kind of thing. And then when you get to enjoy grandchildren, you get to do the fun part. You don't have to worry about their grades. You don't have to worry about their behavior necessarily. You just get to spoil them and give them, ice cream for dinner and enjoy the fun part.
which my dad, who is grandfather to my children, has mastered the science. He's figured out what they like. He watches them and what they want to get at Costco and what I don't get them or my wife doesn't get them. Okay. And if, we're all going to Costco and we're putting stuff in the bag, and my wife's like, no, that's not healthy. No, you can't have the double chocolate fudge caramel dipped ice cream bar. Then my dad will literally go there the next day and get the double chocolate fudge caramel dipped ice cream bar. And he will load them up in the freezer of his house. And next thing you know, my kids are like, Mom, can we go to Grandpa's house? And they show up and the very first thing they do is say, Grandpa! And they give him a hug. And then he whips out a double fudge dipped caramel ice cream bar. And they go to, it's like Pavlov's dogs. Grandparents are subversive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they got
but
the buy the love thing. They got it down to a science. The good ones do.
But I buy that for me.
Oh, then great. It's like, so
I
you
have
party
one of-
with your grandkids.
My grandkids
They don't
eat
get any.
my ice cream.
Oh, they don't?
No.
They're not allowed.
Okay. Oh, really?
No. They don't eat my
That's
ice
pretty
cream.
savage, Barbara.
Yeah, that's pretty savage, Barbara.
My ice cream is my ice cream.
I always think this is why this is the savage senior hour. Stop the cat. The grandkids can't be stealing my ice cream.
Well, wait a minute. I thought savage was a good word.
It is, but also savage. It means like like rough, raw, with sharp edges. So if you tell a kid who thinks he's going to get the ice cream because you're a softy grandma, no kid, you don't get the ice cream. No kid gets to steal my ice cream. That is savage, which is a good thing. It's like it's got some punch. It's boom. It's tough.
You made it come out my nose.
Your nasal snorted on the radio. It's a good thing we got these foam pads that can be washed. You know what I'm saying? So we don't spread ear, nose, and throat diseases.
You're putting him into another atmosphere. You
Yeah.
better be careful.
Yeah, he's vibing. He's elevated almost into the stratosphere.
It looked like he was going to fall.
Yeah, that means it was the laugh was good. It's like when you laugh until your stomach hurts.
Oh,
So anyway, before we go, you have to answer the question. What's your like I look forward to being able to wear that heinous Speedo in the pool when I'm 80 something. What can you enjoy now that you couldn't enjoy in younger years where you're like, yeah, that's pretty cool?
doing what I darn well please.
Oh, that sounds liberating.
Nobody tells me what to do.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it.
My daughter tries.
Really? And what do you do?
I tell her to be quiet.
Ooh, savage.
No, it's not be quiet, it's shut up.
Oh, now that's a whole new level.
That's worse.
Yeah. That's pretty tough.
Yeah.
You would be the funnest neighbor.
Oh, I would?
Yeah. I think you'd be the absolute funnest neighbor. I want no millennials within a quarter-mile radius of me. I want Barbara Cochran's surrounding my house like a moat full of alligators.
It's the Savage Senior Hour, KHTS, FM 98.1, AM 1220, hometownstation.com.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Thomas Pilecki, on your Santa Clarita Savage Senior Hour.
Yeah.
Whoa, I
Now
did
we're
it, didn't
cooking.
I?
Now we're cooking with peanut oil.
And who do we have as our guest? Oh, Cardon Ellis
Yep.
from Unipest.
Yeah, exactly. Unipest Termite Pest Control. Having a lot of fun. Glad to be here.
Yeah, shortest show we've ever done by far.
I
So-
know. Where's the hour gone?
Bugs.
Well, we've
Just
learned a
there.
lot.
We have?
You learned about the Turkestan cockroach versus the German cockroach and the Oriental cockroach as seen through the eyes of 1920s entomologist. We learned a lot of cool slang from you
Alpha
in the
speak.
40s, 50s, and 60s. We learned about what seniors look forward to in their old age, what some of us younger bucks look forward to when we become old, such as Speedos.
Older, not old.
Become older. Yes,
Thank
you're right.
you.
Become older. And then while we were at our commercial break, we were talking about all kinds of other fun topics like the Pirate Bible, these crazy secret Jewish underground tunnels that were found in New York coming out of the Brooklyn synagogue. Like there's just, this is a wild, wacky, awesome world that we live in. And we have the joy of getting paid just to talk about it and laugh about it. It's fun.
Whoa. I guess in my years, I've come a long way and
Yeah.
done a lot of things in a lot of places.
Yeah.
That sounds like
including-
a Grateful
inclu-
Dead song.
A great what?
Okay, go.
He said it sounds like a Grateful Dead song, which was a rock and roll song from the 70s, which kind of came out of the old, like, it's like the Kingston Trio. You know, we'll put it into kind of older
The
pop culture
Kingston
terms.
Trio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have a favorite band when you were younger?
No.
No? Did
I
you ever,
didn't-
what was your first concert?
My first concert? Oh, good heavens. That must have been in Canoga Park. And I don't even remember what it was.
Oh, really?
And that happens as you get older. Your mind kind of says, bye-bye.
Yeah. What's the first concert you remember? Because that just means they kind of bored you and it wasn't seared in your mind. Like, I don't remember what the first indie
I
band
saw
that
a
I
Beatles concert.
Get out.
No.
Where?
I'm
Here,
sorry.
there, everywhere?
No, it was back east.
Wow.
But in America.
Yes.
Wow.
So what year do you remember? 62, 3, 4?
It seems to me it was in the late 60s.
I don't think they
it
were
wasn't-
touring in the late 60s, Barb. It's got to be
it must
earlier
have
than
been
that.
64 then.
Okay, sounds about right.
Because it was it right before they retired or broke up
Yeah,
or something?
well, they didn't retire or break up in the mid 60s, but they stopped touring.
Yes.
They became a pure studio band.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it
you
was
saw
in-
one
it
of
was
their
either
last American
63,
shows.
64.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Were you one of the girls that screamed and passed out, or were you just kind of there being a little bit more demure, more
No,
stoic?
I was jumping up and down and
Nice.
woohoo and oh,
So
good
who was your
heavens.
favorite Beatle? Who were you jumping up and down for? Were you a Ringo girl?
Ringo.
Really? I
Nice.
begged it.
Best answer.
I begged it. Was it his hair, or was it just the aggressive masculine
It
nature?
was just him.
Yeah,
just
Ringo's cool.
Just him.
Okay, cool.
And that place was packed. I mean, every aisle had people in the aisle as well as people sitting in the chairs.
Really?
And they had them all up and down the sides. Oh, it was unbelievable.
Just be honest. Did you flirt with a security guard to get a closer seat?
No, I paid for it.
Oh, okay,
And it
cool.
wasn't cheap.
I believe that. I believe that.
I don't remember now what it was, but I remember that it was very expensive.
All right, Canoga Park, where you saw the Beatles for the first time.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's okay, but that's a wrap on the show where you're listening to the Savage Senior Hour at KHTS FM 98.1 AM 1220, hometownstation.com, brought to you by Providence Holy Cross and Comfort Keepers.